And Wimmera Football. It's time to join Scotty Stewart from the Warrack Herald. Hey, Scotty, how are you?
G'day, Wayne. Yeah, going well, thanks.
Good. Well, a bit of moisture about for the weekend, which is going to be cold and wet. It's good old-fashioned footy.
I think so. We're right in the midst of the as you said there, good old-fashioned winter footy. She's going to be, I don't think they're going to reach double figures these temperatures, so we'll see how it all pans out. But, maybe a bit more moisture around as well, so it'll make an interesting weekend of footy.
Interesting, but last weekend, the games, I think probably bar the big win by Horsham Saints over Dimboola, pretty regulation. Looking at Minyip Murtoa firstly, regulation win over your boys, the Warrack Eagles, 21-18, 144 to 5-4-34, 110 points. And when you watch, it's the old men playing boys, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was last weekend, and you can just tell that Minyip Murtoa, they're in a pretty good patch of form at the moment, and I think they're going to maintain that right throughout the season. They just got big targets up forward. I think we've spoken about it a lot, but the thing that I noticed last weekend, and against say a team like the Warrack Eagles, who were struggling a little bit with their height and their experience going through, but they set up so well across behind the ball, as they say, across half forward. We were trying to work it out of defence, and you'd get halfway, you get across to your half forward line, but they were set up so well through defensive lines, and they just sent it straight back in, and that's hence your score in there, isn't it? They've had put close to 40 shots there, and 21 goals for the day, and they just set up on regularity. And our boys, the Warrack Eagles boys, are really good in applying the pressure to around the ground and going forward. But through weight of numbers at the end of the day, that's just what happens, and that's just the way they set up very well.
Yeah, really well with Ison with 7. Their forward targets like Kieran Delahunty 3, Petering and McIntyre, McGrath, Kelson, Cameron, all of them on the board with 2. And Ison, Kelson, Delahunty, that's K, T, McIntyre and Fisher, a really good player too, of course, and Petering all going well with them. Penny, D. Stewart, J. O'Connell, Hubner, M. Penny and M. Johns in and trying hard for a disciplined but vastly undermanned Warrack Eagles side. Stawell beat Ararat in the Battle of the Grampians. It was 7-9, 51 to 6-10, 46. Gee, at Central Park, they were holding their breath, the locals in the big grandstand.
It would have been a big grandstand finish in that one, wouldn't it? They come within a goal and reported there during the week that that's because we're obviously the start of the second round last weekend, and the first round when these two teams played, I think Stawell got home by around 11 goals. So it shows how far Ararat's come, and but unfortunately they just weren't able to get the chocolate there last weekend. But that was a pretty important win for Stawell too. They maintained that position in the top 2, and they'll be looking to build on that in the next few weeks now, I'd say.
Yeah, G. Manton with 3 for Stawell. It looks like he's bobbed up. Driscoll tends to kick a lot of their goals. And Walder and Oliver both a couple for the opposing Ararat side. In other matches, there was a big win again for Horsham D's, 19-11 over the lowly Nhill. 5 goals, 12, and the D's are setting themselves up for a bit of a run now, I think, towards the finals to make the top 5.
They would have taken a fair bit out of that win over Jimmy there a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't they? And that just shows they must be full of confidence and they'd like to really dominate that game. I don't know, when we played Nhill, you can only go by what you see, and they were teaming up pretty well that day. But obviously Horsham, they're chock full of confidence and going well. But you'll mention it here in a minute, but co-coach Rona Conboy there going forward, I think he's got 12 goals in the last 2 weeks, so that's a pretty a good move on that by the coaching staff there, I think.
Yeah, need to get somebody up there that could bring the ball to ground, but instead of that, he's taking him and kicking him. 7, Win 3, Scott Hopper both a couple, and Win Conboy B Laken in the best, Neil Duffy a couple, and Albrecht Schneider, Jack Jared, Duffy and Bone, the better players there for the lads in the Tiger outfit. Now, the final match, though, this is the one. What about the Saints? 9-5-59, Dimboola 5-12-42. Dimmy in free fall at the moment. The Saints rising to the top.
Yeah, no, they're going well. I think that's a fourth successive win for the Saints, and really consolidating that spot in the top five. But real game of fluctuation this one, wasn't it? I think they basically went in batches of 3 goals. The Saints kicked away at the start, and then Dimboola's come back in that third quarter, kicking 3 unanswered goals and cut it back to 6 points at three-quarter time, which is a pretty good effort, because I would imagine that the game would have been pretty well played on the Saints' terms, but they were able to get hold of it back in the last quarter and come away with that win. And it's 4 wins in a row. And I talk about Murtoa being in the middle of a mid-season patch of good form. Well, the Saints, they're right there with them as well.
They certainly are. Gee, right there with them, and they're going to be right at it this weekend. Big match. It is the one that is on Sunday, those two Horsham sides, which is clearly match of the round for round 11. Let's go to the other game, and your tips. Minyip Murtoa, they go down to Alexandra Oval. I'll tell you what, it'll be wet, it'll be cold down that way, and I reckon Minyip Murtoa, even though the conditions won't possibly be favouring them for their high marking up forward, I reckon they can still beat Ararat.
Yeah, definitely they will. But I think they're happy thinking weather the better down there. In this game, they need to cut down some of those tools you mentioned there before about Braden Ison, and I didn't mention it earlier, but yeah, he was massive last week. He's just such a big figure, and for a bloke who's about 6'4", he's got some pretty good skills too. So he'll be a big danger man for them down there. But no, look, on their home ground, Ararat will like their chances more. But just through, I've talked about before as well, the weighted numbers that the Boroughs have. They should be able to overwhelm Ararat, who will put up a good fight, but be a Boroughs all the way for me, I think.
Stawell play Nhill at Davis Park. Stawell a chance to continue that opportunity to get to the double chance in the top 3.
The long road trip for the Stawell lads there. It's the mums and the dads of the under 14s won't have to worry about it as much, which would be nice for them. But the Stawell seniors, as I said, they need to keep that top 2 spot, don't they? And I think they'll continue to do that with this one. I was mentioning, you mentioned it before about Cody Driscoll last week was leading goal kicker, was held to 1 goal, but depending on conditions, he might bag a few this weekend, I think.
I think so. This is a big one at Anzac Park. Your boys take on the lads up the road from Beulah and Hopeton. This has got a lot of rivalry over it, the Wheatbelt game, and the Giants come to town to play against the Eagles. The Giants will start massive favourites. Yeah,
they'll be a pretty warm favourite on that one there on a nice cold day at Anzac Park, but they return it from a bye too, so I think with the COVID restrictions, all the travel restrictions lifted and everything back to normal, they'll get all their players back now, and I think they'll welcome back a couple of extra boys in tomorrow, maybe from injury and these travel restrictions. And yeah, look, they'll be hard to beat them in this game, and the Eagles they'll give it their best chance. But again, just through those weighted numbers that they're going to come up against in the Giants, it's going to be a tough day for the Eagles boys. But hopefully they put up a big showing as they did last week, just putting that pressure around the ball and on their opponents, and they can only do that. But just hope that they can push it forward a bit more and convert some chances. But no, I think the Giants they'll be ready to go too. They'll be looking for a big assault, and that's run into if you call it a run into the finals at the moment. But it's a bit early to be calling that. But they'll be hard to toss there. They
really will be, and the top 3 is what they're looking at too. They don't want to be pushed out into that 4th or 5th position. And it comes down to it though when the Saints play the D's. Those two sides want to both play finals and at the same time want to put some pressure on those top 3 or top 4 positions. The Saints and at Coghlan Park, I reckon the home side.
Yeah, look, you can't go against that, can you, at the moment? If you're on a 4-game winning streak, it's they've taken all before them. But on the other hand, there we talked about it with Horsham. They've come away with that win a couple of weeks ago, and then followed up last week with another big performance, and should be another tight battle. But we've talked about Rainer Conboy there kicking those goals in the last couple of weeks. If he can get his hand on it again and provide the Demons with that option up forward, it'll go a long way to getting his team over the line. But I'm in your corner of that one too. I reckon that the Saints should be too strong. On their home ground, they seem to play that pretty well. But yeah, as I said, this is match of the day, and it's got a bit of a bearing on everything here. You got Dinbula sitting out a bye this weekend, and we don't get any points for a bye nowadays from now on, and they'll be hoping that the Saints can get up and knock over the Demons, and they might get their spot back in the top 5 in the next couple of weeks. But it should be a cracker of a game this one, I reckon. But the Saints by me too.
Oh, yes, she's a beauty of a season, this one in Wimmera football, and we're looking forward to the results coming through. Scotty Stewart, good to have you on board from the Warrack Herald.
Yeah, good on you, Wayne. Thanks.